Hey, how's it going? It's been a while since I streamed. Almost half a year, I think. I think the last time was back in July. YouTube changed a lot of things on the UI behind the scenes. It looks very different now. They'll be fine, though. Okay, so I finished Yellow. Mewtwo came out today. That's the first series on my channel that I have actually finished. I threw this together really last minute, so like I don't have some amazing insight to share right now. I figured people can ask questions if they want to ask questions. I'll probably play back a run or two and we'll just like chat about it. I'm thinking about playing back the Golduck run because the Golduck run was so ridiculous. And then we can also like talk about tier list stuff, and I can share some of my thoughts on Pokemon at the very end of this entire process. If you have not yet seen the Mewtwo video, I'm going to put that in the title of this. I'm going to update the title if I can. If you have not seen the title, spoilers ahead, or if you haven't seen the Mewtwo video, yeah. Yeah, I put spoilers in the title now. Refresh and it should be there. Are you sad that Yellow is finished? I don't know if sad. Right now, right now I'm not sad. I'm more like relieved than anything. It has truly, the last 6 months of playing Yellow have been really hard. Like it has felt really stressful to get through these last runs because I expect such a high level of perfection from myself that I just don't quite expect yet in other games because I'm newer into or like I'm fresher to those series. Like in Platinum, when I like make a silly mistake with Regigigas or something, I'm not super worried about it. But with Yellow, I've played so many of these runs that by the end it was weighing on me. And it was like I finished recording videos like every other series this year by the beginning of November. Like all the Platinum videos, all the Heart Gold videos, everything was done recording. And then I only had Yellow left over, and I'm like, well, I guess I have to. Like, I've been procrastinating, like, I gotta do it now. So then I just had to get into these final runs and film them. The thing that really surprised me actually the most was the Ditto playthrough. I truly loved every moment of that first run, and then every moment talking to Red Ryosi about it and figuring out how to play Ditto. Ditto is such a unique, interesting Pokemon in Generation 1, especially in Yellow, I think. I haven't played it in Red and Blue. Maybe it'll be just as interesting there, but it's so fantastically interesting. Thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. 21 months. Vananet, thank you. This is super bittersweet. It's been an incredible journey, and thank you for all the memories. Seal re-ranking when, yeah. I should talk about re-rankings. This is something I wanted to put at the end of the video. I actually woke up early this morning, and I was thinking about 3 parts of the Mewtwo video that I just wasn't quite fully happy with. So I went back and I did like 2 hours of retakes on Mewtwo to change it up just a little bit to get it the way I wanted it before releasing it. I only ended up changing 2 of those spots. The third spot that I was thinking of changing was the very end of the video. I do like my little poetry reading thing, and then I like conclude the video by saying the end. And I was going to insert somewhere there a little section just talking about like what might come next for Generation 1 on the channel. And the more that I... after recording it all and putting it in, the pacing was just all wrong, and it wasn't the feeling that I wanted the ending to have. I didn't want to be blabbering about a bunch of logistics right at the final moments of the series. So I was just cut it out. It's like, well, I'll just do a stream. I'll talk about it then. The people that are really here watching all my stuff, they'll see the stream and then they'll know what my plans are next. Nev G27, congratulations on reaching the finish line and all you've grown. I've changed a lot during this process. I calculated it. It's been 5.5 years, so it's been 1/6 of my life doing this project. I have never spent that much time working on one thing. I'm sad that Yellow runs are over because it's nice to have shorter runs. Huh. It's actually funny you say that, because the Yellow videos take me longer to record than every other series. So for me, it's the opposite. I'm like, oh, it's nice to have Yellow done because now I don't have to spend so much time playing every single video. Do you have the ability to check all the run files to see total hours played? No, I don't. There's a lot of data that's been lost in the... Thanks for the $5. A lot of data has been lost in the process because when I started playing this, I didn't have the run files. Like, I had, like, the regular save files and stuff like that. I don't know if I still have all those, but they won't record real time. They would have only recorded game time. So... There's not the ability to go back and collect all that data. There's definitely some data that can be retrieved, but only the most recent runs are recorded in replays. Like the last 2.5 years of runs are recorded, but that's less than half the series now. So I did think about this right at the end when I was making the Mewtwo video. I was like, I should do some comparisons here. And then I started running into all these problems of like, the data is in the wrong format. I can't re-record the run. So should I just go like through and hand, like alter the giant CSV files? I'm like, maybe not. Maybe it's okay to just leave it for now. I think that's one of my deepest regrets is like, there was no way to do it. So I don't really regret it because I couldn't have changed anything, but I think if I could wave a magic wand and go back to the beginning of this process, I would somehow get a replay file for every single run that I had done up until now, as well as the data extracted from those runs. Best estimate for total time played. Best estimate? Like, I did at least 2 runs with every Pokemon, with many more. Probably played 600 playthroughs, I would say. Like, that's 2 for each, so that's like 300, and then like for some I did like 8 or 11. Like Gengar got like 15, Parasect got 200, so maybe it's more like 1,000 runs. Yeah. And then there's all the optimizing time and stuff like that, but that's not playthrough time. It's probably like... It's probably a good estimate to say like 1 hour per run, so maybe 1,000 hours of playtime. Although that feels really low. It's only like 25 weeks of full-time play. I don't know, it's really hard, right? It's really hard to get a sense. Began following you since the start in the background. This has been epic. You've improved a lot at the game. I have, yeah. Which Pokemon is the one that got you... I think you're saying which one got me procrastinating the most. Ditto. Ditto is the final run I did. Okay, so spoilers now. I'm going to move over to spoilers. Where is it? Ta-da! The completed tier list. The completed tier list. Ditto got me procrastinating the most. I really didn't want to play Ditto. I finished it last, so I recorded all the final Mewtwo playthroughs. And then I was like, okay, I actually have to deal with Ditto. And ever since like 2001, sorry, not 2001, that's a long time ago. Ever since 2021, I have had it in my head that Mewtwo was going to be the last run and Ditto was going to be the second last run. Pretty much for the almost the entire series that is shown in this tier list, because I've re-ranked most of the Pokemon since the runs that I played in 2021. So since that time, I really knew that Mewtwo and Ditto were going to be the last runs. I wasn't sure what was going to be third last. Initially, I thought maybe it'll be re-ranking of the starters. I thought maybe it was going to be Dragonite coming in second last. I at one time I toyed around with potentially doing Kabutops and Omastar second last as like the re-ranking, but then that just fit too well for Halloween, and I didn't really have like a good like Halloween video left over after the previous years of runs, because I kind of did like Ghastly one year, then I did Haunter, then I did a Gengar re-ranking, and then at some point I'm like, well, like I did the first stage fossils, then I'm like, well, I need like something else for a Halloween here, so I guess it has to be the re-ranking of the fossils, because I did that like ultra marathon video ages ago. I think that was back May 2021, I think. So I toyed around with that being the third to last video for a little bit. And then eventually I played the Mew race back in March with everyone. And like I was like, I'm going to take about like a week off after, then I'll make the video and I'll put the video out. And then during that time, the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, this is the perfect story to go third last. Like this has to be the third last video. And I can't do Mew versus Mewtwo because it seems too obvious that Mewtwo is going to be so much better than Mew. And then the story of the Mew race gets completely destroyed if I put those two in the same video. Because then it's just like, what are we actually talking about? Are we talking about a race between all these players and the dynamics that come from that? Or are we talking about how Mewtwo and Mew go up against each other? And so I was like, well, it has to be the Mew race, then it has to be Ditto, then it has to be Mewtwo. And from there, it became pretty obvious. Dragonite, the pseudo-legendary, needs to be fourth last, and then I need to re-rank the starters. And so that'll be my final 5 videos. And so that became like very clear to me about halfway through this year what the final 5 had to be. I knew that the starters was going to be part of the final 5, I just didn't know what the position was initially. How do you feel about doing Gen 1 tradebacks? Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting Gen 2 Pokemon that can come back to Gen 1 and crush Gen 1. I think right now, what I want more than anything else is just some time off from Pokemon Yellow specifically. Like, I tried at the end of the video to be like optimistic in some ways, but also give it a definite end, because I don't want to like say, hey, I'm going to keep making all these Pokemon Yellow videos until the end of time. I think that that's kind of like creatively bankrupt. For me, it's like I feel like I've done what I set out to do initially with this series, and continuing it feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right creatively. And it feels like, as it has been such a huge part of my life and such a huge part of the channel, that it feels like it needs time to rest. So I have no plans right now to come back and do more Pokemon Yellow solo challenge content right now. No plans. If I do come back, I want to come back either with like a one-off video where I just go like, yeah, here's a video we're gonna do. Like the one that always gets brought up is Amnesia Psyduck, but like, hey, let's play Amnesia Psyduck and see how Amnesia Psyduck does in the game, and just do that as like a one-off, which might be fun, right? Or maybe I'll come back and do a one-off video being like, what if the solo challenge format had double team and we could use that TM, and then I can kind of explore evasion boosting mechanics a little bit. So I could see myself coming back and doing one-off videos like that, but I don't have plans to come back and do a bunch of other solo challenge videos. I know that I will, well, I don't want to say never, but I don't think that I will ever come back and make another video that's like the exact same format with the exact same rules, re-ranking a Pokemon in Yellow version. I think that Yellow is done in that way. Like, I'm not going to come back and do another video on Poliwrath. I keep looking at Poliwrath, I'm like, this guy, he's stuck down here in the C tier, and he really needs a re-ranking. So in terms of re-rankings, I think that the way that I'm going to handle re-rankings is that I'll come back, and I may play re-rankings on stream, because I do really love Yellow. And I don't see myself not playing this format anymore, because I really like it. It's enjoyable. I just don't want to, like, put a whole bunch of money into producing a video. Paying video editor will like make some giant production. It's like 2 hours long and it feels creatively bankrupt. That's just like not a great vibe. Maybe I'll do like a hey, we played some Yellow runs on stream this year. Now I'm going to do a summary of what we found over in like 20 minutes. And we'll just put out a little like short summary video talking about how like strategies have evolved within the solo challenge community for a bunch of different Pokemon. I could see myself doing something like that, kind of like a yearly recap of like what's happening in Yellow version, the solo challenge format, but I don't really see myself coming back and going like, okay, here we go. I don't know, Poliwrath versus Ride On. They're in the same tier. Let's see which one can get into the B tier or whatever. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Can you rank all the music? Oh yeah, I should rank all the music in the game. That would be fun. I could do a review of the music too, like from a composer's perspective. Because I do have a music degree. So I have a question. I know the Gengar Alakazam gave you a lot of grief, but would you say that that video was key to how you do stuff today? Yes, unfortunately. It was actually quite a process. Yeah, we'll go down memory lane here for a second. Also, if you don't find this stream enjoyable, that's fine, turn it off. I'm just talking here because I want to talk about this process for the last 5.5 years. This stream is not supposed to be content. It's really me just like sharing my thoughts. Literally Scott's thoughts. So I am not trying to like keep the pace of this stream interesting. We're just vibing today. I'm just going to quickly go back through my content on a separate monitor, and then I can just like quickly see what it was that led to the current format. Because there's an evolution of my content where we go from 1 run per Pokemon to 2 runs per Pokemon. And for me, I think that was like that was the biggest thing that set me apart initially from other runners. Like you have J-Rose, you have Madrybred, a bunch of, they're amazing obviously. And then like, I was just kind of doing what they were doing, but I was worse at making videos. I didn't know how to talk. I was bad at writing scripts. Like, it took me forever to make the videos. And so then it took time for me to kind of figure out, like, what was the thing that is interesting about me. And it wasn't like I planned it. So I initially did the Starmie versus Cloyster video. This came out March 14th, 2021. It was the first versus video on my channel. I just thought, there's no way that a Starmie run can be interesting, so I need to do something more than just a Starmie run. Like, what if Starmie raced another Pokemon? It would be, because I was thinking, it would be fun to see someone like J-Rose and Madrybred race each other, because I was just watching their content, right? And then I'm like, well, maybe like Starmie and Cloyster can race each other. That might be fun. People would be like, which one's going to get the better, like, trash can puzzle in Surge's gym? Wouldn't that be exciting? If we could see which Pokemon benefits the most from RNG during a single playthrough. No, it's not exciting at all. Everyone hated it. I got like a ton of comments just being like, this doesn't seem fair. Then I made Scyther and Pinsir. I actually recorded all those playthroughs so close together, but I released them like 2 months apart, 1 month apart. Interestingly, I was doing my master's degree at the time, so I pre-recorded all of those videos, and then I scheduled them for release over a 4-month period. And I wasn't doing anything on the channel at the time. I just released videos every 2 weeks, and I didn't do anything. I made all the videos in like 2 weeks. It was like really, really hectic. That was Christmas 2020. I guess, yeah. And I made all the videos that year. Then I did Electabuzz versus Magmar. That's the origin of the I have a girlfriend meme. It's actually not that one. It's the Jigglypuff video. Where is it? Jigglypuff came out a lot before the Starmie video. November 3rd, 2020. That one, I just mentioned, I was like, hey, my girlfriend said I should make this Jigglypuff video. And then everyone's like, oh, your girlfriend. Okay, sure. So then someone else commented, like, you should just start a video with, like, I have a girlfriend. So I was like, I'm going to do it. So I did it in Electabuzz versus Magmar. Then I did Snorlax versus Snorlax. That was my first, like, I looked at the Pokemon, I'm like, I don't know how this Pokemon should play. Like, I'm really not sure if it's going to be best with Amnesia or if it's going to be best skipping Amnesia. Like, should I hold on to this? I don't know. And because I didn't know, I'm like, well, maybe I should do something to test which one is going to be better. So then I start getting into this testing mindset. The first 3 versus videos before that one weren't so much about testing, and then Snorlax I started. Then I did Steelix versus Scizor in Crystal. Didn't really learn much there. But Beedrill versus Butterfree. I watched the premiere, and there was one fan who was commenting, like a Beedrill fan is what I mean, was commenting about how I did Beedrill dirty and was so upset. Like, I can't believe you played Beedrill that badly. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, you just, like, really ruined everything because you played Beedrill so badly. And I remember, like, taking it to heart. Like, I'm I'm pretty sure that I like told my girlfriend at the time, just like, I'm so upset. Like, I can't believe I played Beedrill so badly. And back then, I could not make a video in a week. Like, it was very hard to make a one versus video every week. And I was trying to release one video every week. And I was like, okay, I'm going to squeeze in another versus video. So I tried to squeeze in a follow-up to Beedrill versus Butterfree to show a different strategy. But I didn't get it out in time because it took me so long to make videos. Also, no one watched it. It still has 30,000 views. Like, the original video has 127,000, and then the Kabutops versus Omastar video that I put out next has 338,000. That one was one of my biggest videos. It was also the best performing video at the time when it came out. And I did multiple runs in that one, but I tried a bunch of different strategies during it. I was just like, okay, like, maybe we should just play one with Double Team. Maybe we should play one with Rare Candies or what. I don't remember the exact specifics. I played like 3 runs with each of them. In every case, it just felt like Kabutops came out ahead. I'm like, okay, that's the way it is. Okay, let's move on. Then I released the Beedrill versus Butterfree follow-up video showing different strategies that I missed with them. And then, following that, I came up with Gengar versus Alakazam. By the way, this was all in one summer. Steelix versus... I know people say it's Scizor. It's not. I'm saying Scizor for until the end of time. I will not say Scizor. That sounds silly. It's the one Pokemon pronunciation I'm not correcting myself on intentionally. So, it did Steelix versus Scizor, Beedrill versus Butterfree, Kabutops versus Omastar, the redo of Beedrill versus Butterfree, and then Gengar versus Alakazam. That is 5 weeks back to back, I think. Yes. Actually, the Beedrill versus Butterfree re-rank came in between the Gengar versus Alakazam and the Kabutops versus Omastar video. When I put out the Kabutops versus Omastar video, when I put out the Gengar versus Alakazam video, I got the same feedback, which is just like, I can't believe that you made such a bad mistake with Gengar. You need to fix your mistake, play better, do better. Why would you use Substitute? Like, okay, fair. So then I recorded a follow-up video to Gengar versus Alakazam, like I had done with Beedrill versus Butterfree. Here's the thing though, I had to make other videos, and I never finished that video. It never came out on my channel. The footage is sitting somewhere in like a archive hard drive. I just never released it because I didn't have time to make the video. I didn't have a video editor back then. I was doing this all myself. And I just ran out of time, and then I had to keep making videos. Then by the time Corsola was coming out, which was like 2 weeks later, by the time Corsola was coming out, I was on vacation and I was panicking to keep up with the release schedule. So I remember plugging in a monitor on like literally on the beach basically. And I edited the Corsola video just to get it out in time. And like my family and my wife they're like on vacation, and then I'm like back in the apartment playing the Tangela run for the next week because I'm like, I got it. Like, this has to be, the run has to be done by the time I get home so that I can edit it and then have the video out in time. Anyways, so then it took a while because I did a bunch of single Pokemon videos after that, but then I released Machamp versus Golem, and the first 2 runs were so close that I was like, no one is going to be convinced by my assertion that one of these is better than the other. I'm going to say Machamp is better, and everyone's going to look at me and go like, no, you played badly with Golem. And then if I said Golem is better, they're going to be like, no, you played badly with Machamp. So I'm like, well, I guess I have to do a second run, because if I don't do a second run, people are just like not going to believe my results, and I would like to contribute something valuable to the community, which is like, hey, this is something that you can kind of look at and stand behind and go, yeah, this one's better. I see why. Like, here are all the reasons. So I'm like, okay, I'll do a second run. Did a second run. It was still just as close. I was like, okay, I guess I have to do a third run to break the tie. Like, that's the only way to do it. And then after that point, I tried to not do follow-up runs for quite a while. But eventually, I just slowly, video after video, recognized the benefit of doing more than one video. It just became very clear. And the run where I started doing it, it was more than a year after this, but April 22nd, 2022. I came out with Paris only. And from that video on in Pokemon Yellow, I did a second run in every single video. And all of the Pokemon that I played before Paris, I have now re-ranked in a completely new video on the channel. Like Magnemite, Eevee, Clefairy, Pikachu, Slowpoke, Ghastly. I've done re-rankings of all of them. Editor Scott here. I'm tired of editing. Yeah, actually, we fell so far behind this year on the daily December stuff that I have edited 6.5 videos that still have not come out yet. So starting tomorrow will be some of my editing work because we fell so behind, and I had to help out Sean and Egg because they couldn't catch up, so we would have missed videos. So I had to jump in and do a bunch of editing this year. The video that I have fully edited previous to that, though, is Houndoom and Pokemon Crystal. That's how long I have not been editing. Where is that one? And I only edited that. That's also not fair to say, because I only edited that video because Sean was on vacation. So he was away, and I'm like, well, I gotta release a video this week, so I guess I'll edit this one. Okay, let's talk about re-rankings. Re-rankings, no new re-ranking videos for the channel, but I will do re-ranking streams in Yellow whenever I feel like it, if I feel like it. I'm not promising that I'm going to do re-ranking streams in Yellow, but I am leaving the door open for that. I think it'll be fun to just like come back and see if I can get a better time with Poliwrath, something like that. But I'm not going to turn it into a produced video and then release it. Shout out to the editors, by the way. I love some of the smooth transitions. I saw Van Man in the chat. The shout out really goes to Van Man. The smooth transitions come from Van Man. Every time Van Man released a video, I would watch it. Like his Sandshrew video, I remember in my mind. It's like burnt into my mind. I remember watching it and seeing the transitions, and I was like, we gotta start doing this. Like, if we don't do this, our videos are gonna look terrible. And then I immediately, while I was watching the video, I paused it, I jumped over to my creation chat, I messaged my video editor, I'm like, every video has to look like this from now on. Like, everyone. None of them can look worse than this. This is the new standard that has been set. So thank you, Van Man, for raising the bar on what videos could look like. There's going to be lots of questions about backports. This was another thing I wanted to clarify at the end of the Mewtwo video, but again, it just didn't quite work. Like in terms of pacing. I made a lot of choices about pacing. I will talk about my pacing choices later into this, but right now I'll just stay focused. Backports I am very conflicted on. They tend to not perform very well on YouTube, because I think people are just less excited to see a Pokemon that isn't in the game, which makes sense. So because of that, I'm less, like, there's less, like, motivation for me to continue doing backports, because they're just not going to do as well on the channel. I thought about making a completely second channel that's like Scott's Backports or something like that, and then just, like, continue releasing stuff like that over there. So I might do that. If I do that, I will have to change how I edit the videos. The videos will not be able to be as tightly edited, unless the Backports channel somehow blows up and gets as big as my main channel, which I don't see happening. But if it did, then I could, like, hire a video editor and we could just do, like, the Backports video as its own channel. And then we could do the regular content over here with, like, as polished edits as possible. I'm not going to say I'm not going to do backports. I might do backports. I just haven't decided exactly, like, what the strategy is going forward with it. And if I think if I do decide to, like, take the plunge into backports and keep doing them, I'm going to, like, constrain it to a specific format. Like, I'll say, okay, we're going to do backports for all of the Johto species. And then I'll work through the Johto species over, like, a year and a half, or 2 years. And then I will complete that series and say, hey, that series is now done, just like the original 151 series is done. This backport series is done. Don't know if I'm going to do any more. I really like this idea of finishing things, and I don't want to leave something unfinished. So I don't want to, like, go, I am going to do backports until the end of time, and then I just never finish them because I get tired. So I think if I do come back to do the backports, I'll do them as a series like that. I could also see a series like Regional Forms as a backport series or something like that. Yeah. Am I ever going to update my YouTube avatar? Yeah, I will update it at some point. I'm starting to get a bunch of gray hair now, so my dad went gray really early into life, and I'm surprised that I made it to 33 without like way more gray hair, but it's happening prominently now, so we will have to get a more gray-haired avatar for me soon. I'm slowly transforming into Professor Oak. Scott, I will say Fire Red and Leaf Green has the easiest backports and has all the mons, even up to Gen 9. Yeah, there's some easy stuff there. I personally love playing the backports, and I personally love making the backports. So that's like the thing incentivizing me to continue with the series, is because I like making them. The thing disincentivizing me is that they don't perform particularly well. And then, like, right down the middle, there's this weird, like, will I ever finish this? If I decide to do 1,000 Pokemon, or 1,100 Pokemon, how long is that going to take me? Like, it took me 5 years to do 151. So 151, I'm going to do 32.2 Pokemon per year. So if there's like 1,025 Pokemon, I don't remember what the exact number is. But if I do like 30.2 Pokemon per year, it'll take me 33.94 years to complete all the backports. And Churro's not so sure about that one there. He's like, Dad, that's a long time. Yeah, come on in here, buddy. Come on, dude. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Come on. He's just screaming in the hallway. So yeah, like if I do 33.94 years of content, I'll be, what, 67 at that point when I finish that series? I don't know. So before I decide that like I want to actually take the plunge and do that, I'm going to just like think about it a lot. I also need a break from yellow, so I'm gonna take a break from yellow. Were you able to get red done? No, I did not get red done. So I had to take actually I would have to slow the pace down slightly so that I would finish the series when I'm 69. Just saying. I didn't get to finish red this year. I wanted to finish red this year and then compare yellow and red together at the end of the year. The problem was my voice. I've had to record voiceover every single day since September in order to finish Daily December. Most videos on my channel take 2 days of recording time to finish. Some take 3, and really long videos like the Mew Race will take 4. So if that is how much I need... Oh, 6, 7. That's why there's this new meme. Anyways. Yeah, it's like, if it takes me 4 days to record one video and I'm releasing one video every day, then I need 4 months of time to make that 1 month of content. But I also needed to release all of the videos in October and November, which was they were also really, really intense months for this channel. And then just because of that, it was like I had to get started in the beginning of September and just go until the end. I could also do backports as streamed content and not make them into produced video. So I have thought about that as well. Maybe that's how I'll approach it. I'm not going to stop making Gen 1 content. I love Gen 1. We're going to make tons of Gen 1 content, but I don't know what it's going to look like right now. Also, if you're wondering if streams are going to happen in I'm going to put on the Golduck run now, because I'm not talking about the tier list that much. Oh, Golduck. This run is so ridiculous. Get ready for it. Just watch it go by. So this Golduck run, Golduck is literally Neo from the Matrix and dodges bullets until the point that it doesn't need to dodge bullets anymore. It's incredible. Also, the Golduck front sprite is amazing, and the Golduck back sprite is terrible. The Golduck back sprite is the worst back sprite in the game, and the Golduck front sprite is one of the best front sprites in the game. Yeah, like I might do some like randomized Nuzlocke in Gen 1. I might do, I really want to do it. I'm not committing myself to it now. I need to write the software for it first, which would be difficult, but I really want to do type-based Nuzlocke. I want to do all 15 types, I guess, in yellow version. Like, I just think that would be fun, and the series would take me maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. I could put out one a month, and then that would be it. I think that would be great. And the scope of that is not so large that if I start it, I'm not going to be like sad when I have to finish it if it's not doing well or something like that. Churro's really loud. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do to quiet him down. There was someone who commented on my video saying put the cat stuff at the end, and I was like, no, that's never going to happen. Sorry. The cats are more important than anything else. Until the Ditto video didn't know Transform had PP. Yeah. Scott, will you do a re-ranking of the sprites? When you get your eyes fixed? No. No. Everyone told me that they're like really angry that my back sprite ranking for Charizard is really low. But that's got to be one of the worst back sprites. I hate that back sprite. It's so bad. No one will ever convince me that that is a good sprite. Look at this back sprite. This Golduck back sprite. It looks like it has no neck. Oh, it's so bad. It's just like its arm comes out of its head. I have no idea what's happening. Gosh. Flying Swiss, yeah. Sorry, it's weird. Yeah, I'll rank the green version sprites at some point. Oh yeah, green version is another potential area for Gen 1 content. I've never played green before, so I might give it a try. Hey, buddy. Hi. You want to say hi to everyone? You gonna purr? You gonna do a really loud purrs and then we can show that off? Or you can come sit down in your bed, you know? Yeah? Yeah, come hang out. If you're hearing microphone bumps, it's because he's rubbing his face against the microphone right now. The guy. He's not actually little, he's big. He's a big cat. I'm not kidding, this back sprite is bad. It's really bad. This is the worst one. Some back sprites are actually kind of good. Like Clefables is like ridiculously good. But some of them are so bad. Like even this one, if you zoom out, it does not look good. By the way, this is my first Golduck playthrough, so I had no experience with Golduck at the time. I just sat down and pulled this off. When do we start Yellow 151 Stroll Run Challenge Attempt 2? Oh my gosh. See, like, I might do another run of Yellow, but, like, if I did another run of Yellow, so here's how I would imagine it. So I know roughly how much time every single run in the game takes now, right? So I could, in the future, potentially come back and do, like, I'm doing, like, a marathon, I don't know, 3 weeks or whatever it is, and I'm going to beat Yellow with every single Pokemon again, something like that. I don't know how long it would take, because each run is, like, if it's, like, an hour, and then we have some ridiculous runs, like Ditto, which is, like, 4 hours. 151 divided by 24. See, like, if I did 24-hour streams for 7 days, I could re-rank all of the Pokemon in Yellow. I would have to hire some other YouTubers to help me play some of the Yellow runs. We could get Gym Leader Matt and other people in here, Zealous Pawn, Austin, and then we just sleep around the clock. Do like a week stream and just finish the game with every Yellow Pokemon. See, like something like that could be fun in the future, right? I don't know what happened here with this crit, or did it desync? I hope it didn't desync. No, it didn't. That was probably a churro-induced error right there. I don't draw attention to all of those in my videos, but occasionally, like, the cat will just like walk in front of the monitor and like I can't see anything, and then I have to pick him up, and like the game just sits for a moment. That's another way I could see coming back to Yellow as well, is doing like I'm going to do a 24-hour charity stream or something, and then just like, I'm going to play a bunch of Yellow runs that I know have predictable times. Like, I know I can do Ditto in 4 hours. We'll do that one when I'm really tired, because it's largely just RNG against Agatha, and you don't need to have your brain like completely on during most of the Ditto run. Just don't use Slash on the Vaporeon. That's the key. I'm glad that the closing of the video has you excited for what's coming. Yeah, I want to play Pokemon Red. Here's the thing. So, with Pokemon Red, I'm not sure what the best way to approach it is. So, at the beginning of this year, I was like, I don't know if like releasing individual videos for every single Pokemon in Red is going to be a good idea, because it's just going to kind of retread a bunch of what I've done in Yellow. So like maybe it doesn't make sense to do a Red series in the same way that I did a Yellow series. Okay? So it's like, what if I just do streams for red and I finish it in 1 year and then move on to whatever's next? I have ideas for blue. If you've been paying attention, you'll know what they are. Anyways, and I have ideas for red, for green, but I had not much to share there. Flying Swift, thanks so much for the donation. I have no idea what currency that is, but thank you. Gotta look it up. You're distracting me. Swiss franc, okay. Thank you. Wow, that's really generous. Thank you so much. Like 83 Canadian dollars. Yeah, what differences would green versus red and blue have? Like, I think red versus yellow is actually a really interesting comparison because there is so much different between yellow and red. I have made some videos showing the differences in the past, and if you haven't seen them, you won't know, but there are so many things different. Like, the game plays fundamentally, like, completely different, really, because like the champions team is completely different in yellow, it's completely different in red. All the move sets are completely different. Koga's team is completely different. Sabrina's team is completely different. Blaine's team is completely different. Erica's team is mostly different but functions very similarly, which is a kind of interesting comparison. Surge's team is different, his AI is different. Misty's team is slightly different. Brock's team is slightly different. Like, no free HM users, you gotta catch them in red version. There's so much. You can use escape ropes in different places where you can't use them in yellow. Oh my gosh. You have to watch the tutorial at the beginning of the game. Yeah, people have no idea. Van Man is so right. People have no idea how different these games are, especially in the solo challenge format. Okay, watch this. Watch this, Onyx. Please watch this, Onyx. Watch this, Onyx. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this happened this way. He got me down to 1 HP so early on, and then I still win? Like, what is that? Yeah, the tier list between the two, they're nothing alike. Like, Alakazam and Gyarados, amazing. Some of the best Pokemon in red version. Alakazam and Gyarados, the Pokemon that I had to make the most caveats around when I summed up the yellow series at the very end looking at the tier list. It's like, why is Alakazam in the A tier? Oh, because it only has Teleport and Kinesis at the beginning of the game, and it doesn't get Confusion in yellow for some reason. Why is Gyarados, like, down below a bunch of first evolution Pokemon? Oh, because it starts the game with a slow growth rate and has only Tackle in yellow. Whereas in red and blue, it gets Dragon Rage and Hydro Pump. Churro is upset with Game Freak. You can hear his complaints as well. If you want to be upset about Game Freak, though, just wait till the videos that I release over the coming week. If you like psychic types. Anyways. Yeah, the red and yellow are very different. So I wanted to play red on my channel since I started. You can see that at the beginning because I played some red and some yellow in the very first, like, 10 videos I released. And then eventually I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I think I'm just going to play yellow for now. I'm really enjoying yellow and everyone else seems to be liking me playing yellow, so I'll just do that. But then since I was getting close to the end of yellow, I was like, well, maybe I'll do something in red that's the same as yellow, and then in blue I'll do something that's completely different from what I'm doing in yellow, so that there's a way to contrast and differentiate. And I'm looking for interesting and fun ways to play Generation 1, because I don't want to stop playing Generation 1. I love these games. Green also. It might be interesting to do those as like more one-off videos, not as like a full tier list, because there isn't that much different, but like maybe play all the ice types to see how Blizzard with a 30% chance to freeze impacts Pokemon's results. So yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, red, I at the beginning of this year, I was like, I don't want to do the same thing that I did with yellow, where I just release individual videos for all of the red Pokemon, and then we just do it like that, and it takes me another 5 years. Then I was like, maybe I'll just stream all the videos, but doing the streaming process was like, it's fun, but there is something unsatisfying about it, because I can only do so many attempts when I'm streaming. I can't just be like, okay, I'm going to take 5 attempts for this Pokemon. Like, I'm going to run out of time on stream. And then the more I push myself, the more the streams become truly frustrating, where I'm like sitting in my office. I did not know at the time, but with a pee-soaked couch, because our foster cat had peed on the couch and I hadn't figured it out yet. And like slowly the room, my eyes are like watering and everything smells really bad and I have no idea why. And I'm like, I gotta finish this Paris stream. Like, we're into hour 8 right now and we just gotta keep going, because eventually I'm gonna finish Paris, and I don't want to take 2 streams to do Paris. So I don't know. that's one way of approaching it, is doing the streams, but then there's problems with that. And then I was also thinking of like, if I do all the streams, then maybe make one giant highlighted video at the end and do like a 12-hour video. That's the maximum upload duration on YouTube, I believe. So do a 12-hour video that highlights all the Pokemon. But this gets a little bit complicated. If you take 12 hours and you multiply it by 60 minutes, that's 720 minutes. And then if you divide 720 minutes by 151, you end up with 4.76 or 4.77 minutes per Pokemon. So then I started thinking, all right, so now I have to be able to summarize in detail every single Pokemon in roughly 5 minutes. If I can't summarize every Pokemon in 5 minutes, then I have to make a 2-part video. It's going to be like a 24-hour video. Now I have 10 minutes per Pokemon. Videos can be up to 23 hours long. Okay, so let's see how much time we would have per Pokemon with a 23-hour video. These are the important statistics. 9.14 minutes per Pokemon. So that's a little bit better, you know? A little bit better. Yeah, I'm not a shorts person. Like, someone in my Discord was saying earlier today, like, it's disappointing that I've released so many hour-long videos in a row because they only like to watch, I assume that they only like to watch my shorter content. And, like, that's fine, but I don't want to make a video short just to make a video short because I have to squeeze out a lot of the stuff that makes things interesting. Like, for instance, with Ditto, like, I could have made the Ditto video like 20 minutes. But there was so many things that were interesting to talk about that I find interesting and joyful about these games that it would have just felt like it was taking out all of the stuff that makes the story interesting to me, at least. So I don't want to make videos shorter than they have to be. I also don't want to make videos longer than they have to be. Like, there's never the case where I like intentionally go like, we need more time in the video. Actually, speaking of that, at the end of the Mewtwo video, both of my editors, Exceptional and Sean, both messaged me and said, you have to ramble for longer at the end because the credits go by too fast. And I went back and I recorded a segment for it to make the ending longer. And it didn't work. It destroyed the pacing, so I cut it. And the ending is the short version with the credits going by really quickly. Yeah, when I made the Victory Bell video, it was like 26 minutes or something? It's very short. But when I made the Victory Bell video earlier this year, yeah. Did the scene change? Or are we just still staring at the tier list while I ramble? Gotta refresh. Oh no, it did. It's good. We're watching Golduck. Okay. It's like, I looked over and it was like a freeze frame of the tier list and I was like, oh, did I not change it? No, I did. We're good. But yeah, like the 25-minute videos are just like not really for me. By the way, I have learned this over the time making these solo challenge pieces of content. I have sort of a pace to my narration. And I kind of know how long each game is going to take to narrate. Like, for example, Pokemon Yellow is going to take usually 24 to 25 minutes to narrate a single playthrough. And then usually 35 to 40 minutes if I do follow-up attempts. And that's just because of how long it takes me to describe the intricacies of a Pokemon Yellow video. So like, if it's a really fast Pokemon, maybe it's going to take me 22 minutes to do the first playthrough. If it's a really slow first Pokemon, maybe it's going to take me 28 minutes. But it's in that range. Like, the average comes out to be about 24 to 25 minutes for a first playthrough. That gets me through all of the details of a first run. So if I only did first runs in my videos, then my videos would be like 24 or 25 minutes. But I do multiple playthroughs, so then the videos get longer. And if I do a versus video, then the video gets correspondingly longer. Although it's not like a 1+1 kind of thing where like I do 2 runs, so like the 2 Pokemon worth of runs, so it's like twice as long. It's not, because there's lots of sections of the game where you can explain the thing once with one Pokemon and then not explain it again with the other Pokemon, which is the big advantage of doing versus videos. I don't need to waste your time. I'm not going to do like Nidoran female, Nidoran male, Nidorino, and Nidorina all in separate videos, because there are so many things that are similar about them that putting them all in the same video allows me to dramatically compress my narration and improve pace. Hey dude. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, little man. Come on up here, buddy. Hey. Yeah, little... Oh, dude, you almost fell. Watch out. Watch where you're stepping. Okay, you're right in front of the monitor. I can't see Golduck now. Gonna hang out there for a bit? Yeah. Hi. Sorry. Ice water lemon, thank you so much. Hey, Scott, first off, Merry Christmas from Australia. I think that's Australia, right? Right? Secondly, I appreciate all the hard work you've put in and the amount of great videos for me to listen to during the last 3 years. You've given me such new ways to look at the games. I'm glad. This is the thing, Gen 1 feels like a treasure trove of all the most interesting things. The Ditto video, it felt like I was playing a different game than I have played for the rest of this series. Like, the stuff that I was dealing with, like the PP overflow after transform with mirror move, like this is a completely different game that no other Pokemon has access to and Ditto has to deal with. So interesting. But there's just like, there's always new things like that. I think that is one reason I really like the backports, is because you can like configure Pokemon in ways that they don't exist naturally in Generation 1, and then you get to find all these weird little quirks. Like Sabrina with Psywave is terrifying against dark types. You don't want her to use Psywave. You want her to use everything else. But that's never the case with any other regular species. How many Glitchmons are playable? Yeah. I've thought about Glitchmons. I've talked to some people about Glitchmons. There are ways to do it. Actually, funny story. Maybe I shouldn't say this because people are going to be like, you must make the video now. I don't know. But last year for Halloween, the intended release on Halloween Day was supposed to be missing now. But then problems happened and it wasn't. I forgot what I did for Halloween last year. Thank you for the one gifted membership. Flying Swiss, wow. That's great. What goes around comes around. Oh, this is another thing. Okay, so like, let's talk about pacing of the series, because I did want to talk about pacing at some point, so now is the best time to do it, I think. Pacing of the overall series was something that was really hard to get right, because I went into this without any idea that I was doing a series. So when I started playing Yellow, I just played whatever Pokemon I felt like playing next. I'm like, well, my girlfriend said Jigglypuff, so okay, let's play Jigglypuff. Oh, Jigglypuff's really bad, this is not going to be fun. Like, or like, oh, I want to play Porygon, let's just play Porygon. Or like, I want to play Gengar and Alakazam, let's play Gengar and Alakazam. But then at some point, actually, I didn't even mention this in the Mewtwo video because it wasn't really relevant, but at some point, I came and I played a Mewtwo playthrough. It was back in 2021. And I played it, and as soon as I finished it, I sat back and I was like, you know what? If I release this Mewtwo playthrough right now, what's the final video of the series going to be? Like, what Pokemon am I going to finish the game with? Okay, so if I do Mewtwo right now, then I have to do Ditto as the final run. Like, that's the only option. Because it's going to be like one of the most difficult, weird runs. But then I'm like, but there's already like Yellow version, or there's already Gen 1 Ditto content out there. So I'm like, well, I could make that the finale, but I think it should be Mewtwo. Like, it feels like Mewtwo should be the one to do as the final video. So then I was like, well, I won't release this Mewtwo run. I will instead fail to release my Gengar vs. Alakazam video, the follow-up video, and that'll be that. So then I didn't release Mewtwo because I knew it had to be the final run. But then we caused pacing problems because Gerald, thanks so much. That's really generous. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Love the poem at the end of the Mewtwo video. Yeah. I knew it was going to be cheesy. Actually, I recorded a version of the voiceover where the poem at the end of the Mewtwo video started the Mewtwo video. That's how I started it. And then the more I sat with it and I edited the voiceover together, the more I was like, no, this doesn't work. This isn't the way that the series should end. The series should end in the way we expect it to end. The video should start like every other video in Yellow, and then by the end of the video, it should be transformative, turn into something new. So then I made the choice to scrap that and put the poem at the end instead. And I'm glad I did it. And in an alternate timeline, he's still streaming Paris, yeah. Anyways, with pacing, that's another pacing thing. It's like, where do you choose to put things? Like a poem, do you put it at the end? Do you put it at the beginning? Do you put it in the middle? Like, what's going to work best? So for the series, I worked myself into a bit of a problem, a creative problem I had to get out of. I don't think I got out of it in the best way, honestly. So this will be insight into how I think I failed with Yellow. by the time I was in 2023, but like in 2022, I loosely kind of planned out like where I wanted things to go. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be Mewtwo, it's going to be Ditto. I know that that's going to be at the end, Dragonite at the end, that kind of thing. Like we'll put those Pokemon very close to the end. I knew Kingler was going to be close to the end because it's really good. So I'm like, we gotta wait to get to that one. We'll give other ones like Slowbro earlier on as a good water type and that kind of thing. But I'm like, Kingler, we'll leave him for later. Dugong we'll leave for the final year. That'll be the premiere of the final year. That's what I was thinking. And well, I didn't really think in terms of years back then. Anyways, then what I realized at some point was that like I should be conceptualizing of each year on the channel like a season of television. This was just to make it fun for me. Like, I grew up watching shows like Lost and Battlestar Galactica, and I always remember, like, the season premieres of those shows were so exciting, and then the season finales, or the mid-season finales of those shows, were so exciting, and it left you wondering what was coming next. And so I was like, if I could even create 5% of the interest that those shows had for the people that are interested in my stuff for a season of what I'm doing, I'm like, well, like, that's what I should do. So I'm like, I need to plan every year in that way. With Daily December being this like massive month that is the finale month of all of the series and all of the stuff that I've been doing in those series up until now in the year. So it's like, this is where like, what's it called? Normal types. I did like a normal type year in Crystal version to see if normal types were in fact the best type in the game. And then I was like, along the way, I was like, oh, bug types are actually really good too. I put that in Halloween, right? It's like, that's sort of like the, hey, there's a contender showing up now to rival the normal types. So it's like all engineered out that way. But then what I started realizing is that I don't actually have enough species left to do 3 full final seasons for Yellow. I have enough for 2.5 seasons, basically, or 2.2 or 2.33 seasons of Yellow videos. So either I have like 2 full seasons and then a really short season at the end, or I do like a short season somewhere in the middle, and then just like there's not a lot of Yellow content in one year, or I just skip some months for Yellow. I wasn't really sure what to do, so I'm like, well, and then 2024 is kind of my compromise year where there's a whole bunch of Yellow backports, but there are very few Yellow runs working towards the final deadline, because I thought that I didn't want to lose too much Yellow momentum earlier into the series. So like with 2023, I should probably continuously release good Yellow videos. But then in 2024, I'm like, okay, like the final year can't be the worst year. That's what happens with every TV show, is the final year becomes the worst year. And the last episodes are the ones that we look back on and go like, wow, that Lost series finale was terrible. Like, why did they choose to end things like that? Or like they didn't have enough time with Game of Thrones. Like maybe they could have had more time to flesh out this world and these characters and not make everyone fast travel around the map to make all this stuff happen. So like the final season can't be the one that feels that way. It has to be epic, like as much as possible. So then I'm like, well, I gotta bloat the penultimate season. We gotta put in a bunch of backports and stuff just to get Yellow content out there and make it feel like I'm still playing Yellow, because we can't forget about the game entirely, then it's going to be unsatisfying. It's like, well, we got to do backports during 2024 to keep the momentum alive to some extent, and then I'll be able to do the epic Yellow at the end of this year. So I think that the pacing throughout 2024 and early 2025 was a little bit slow for Yellow, not ideal, but I pulled it off. I do think that the final 2 months of Yellow, I do think they're the best videos in the Yellow series. And I especially think that the Mew Race video, I think it is the best video on my channel. And I think that the Ditto video is a close second place. If right now I had to say which videos I'm most happy with on my channel, Mew Race is number 1, Ditto is number 2, and I think right now it's either Mewtwo or Smeargle Race. Yeah. That's like the stuff I like the most on my channel. I think I really nailed the storytelling in the Mew Race video and the pacing. But speaking of pacing, all my other community races I have made about the community, but this race I really decided that like this race is about pacing. More than anything else, this race is going to be about pacing. Just pacing the story of like everything that happened in that video. And because I did that, but because I made that choice, a bunch of people, I wasn't able to include everyone's footage. I wasn't able to include even footage that I kind of should have, like people doing interesting novelty runs and stuff like that. But I tried. Like, I put in stuff and I would record lines for it, and then I'd go like watch it or like listen back to the voiceover, and like, yeah, we just like deflated the momentum of the video by inserting this. And I couldn't come up with a creative solution that I was satisfied with. So I think like as like a creative individual, I still feel like there's more to be done because I haven't solved that problem yet. How to make everyone feel like they're included in the race and that their footage is on display without destroying the fast pace of the narrative. But I might never run into that problem anymore. I said to someone else that the Mew race was like the perfect story to force my hand to do this, and I don't know if that would ever happen ever again. Also, if the story of the Mew race, like people playing the run, if it was less interesting, I'm sure the video would have been like 3 hours long. So like, because it wouldn't have felt wrong for me creatively to take a little like side tangent and talk about some novelty runs in a story that overall is just not very fast paced. It's not a story that is really intense. It's not a story that has a lot of drama in it. It's like, yeah, I can take a little detour here. We're watching like, I don't know, like a soap opera. Like, it's fine. We don't have to be super fast paced all the time getting towards some deadline. We can just go at our own pace. Also, freezes here. Freezes. Double freeze, by the way. I don't think I should have won this fight, but I froze both the Weeping Bell and the Gloom. Absolutely ridiculous. I genuinely like sat back in my chair and laughed right there. I was like laughing out loud. Like, I can't believe that this just happened. Because normally when you fight Erica fairly early with water types, it just doesn't go well. And what they should do is backtrack usually after Sylph around level 40, 45, and then they just crush Erica. Anyways, I think if the story had been worse, the overall story of the Mew race had been worse, what would have ended up happening is the video would have been longer. It would have been a fine video. I don't think it would have been the best video on my channel. It would have been like okay. And I wouldn't have like intentionally tried to bloat its runtime, but I just don't think I would have felt the same like need to slim things down and really economize. But I felt that very strongly with this video. When I initially sat down to it, I wrote on a piece of paper 45 to 50 minutes long, no longer. Like, I was like trying to make it as short as possible. But obviously it got much longer than that. But I still think I would manage to work the pace out quite well. In the end, Brock just took too long to explain, and to really understand the story, it has to feel like Brock takes a long time. I've talked about this in my videos before, and sometimes it doesn't matter, but with the Mew race, it really did matter. I wanted to convince you that we had figured out the best way to play, and that Brock was the only thing that mattered. And the only way to do that was to spend a ridiculous amount of the runtime talking about Brock. You had to feel what we felt. Brock was the thing that really mattered. Nothing else really mattered that much. We're going to kind of gloss over it. It doesn't matter that much. And I had to recreate that in the structure of the video on like a very, very fundamental level. Okay, there are more questions. There's also people... Flying Swiss, thank you again. Oh my gosh. I didn't get it before you head out, I don't think. Valentin? I don't know how to read your Valentine, I think. Thank you for the €5. And Irish, I was drunk. Happy Christmas, Scott. I love your videos. I use them to pass the time and help me when I'm bored and even sleep. Yeah, so does my girlfriend. Much love. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the support, seriously. Yeah, most of my videos do have a standard title. Most of them do. Which is just species only dash Pokemon Yellow. I try to name all my stuff that. There was a period where I was trying to like do more like clickbaity titles. It doesn't help. Like, it would probably help if I was in a different niche, but like the people who like my content watch my content. And the people who don't like my content don't watch my content, and that's fine. I get some new people here and there, but like I'm not convincing anyone to watch my video by like making a super clickbaity title or thumbnail. So at some point then I just decided like, you know what, like, I'm just doing this to enjoy this. Like, I don't need to make clickbait titles. I do agree that making them searchable somehow is important, so I'll try and figure that out. I think what I'll probably do is I'll probably leave the current titles they have just for historical sake, but I might like add on to the end of them like Pokemon Yellow Rhyhorn or something like that, so that you can actually find it when you search on my channel, because if you go to my channel and you search like Ditto, the follow-up video for Ditto and Crystal will not pop up, because the title is like I was wrong or something like that. So yeah, I gotta do it. Also, today's title, I tried so many titles for the Mewtwo video. I hated all of them. And then at some point I was like, the title's the end. That's it. The only title that works. And like, so someone said like every YouTuber gets one video that they can title the end. And I realized I broke this rule. I get as many the ends as I want, provided I earn them. And I only earn them by playing every other species in the game. So now we're gonna start working towards the end for Johto. Okay, I haven't been keeping up with chat. So if there have been questions, you can re-ask them. Scott, how long are you going to stream today? Not longer. I will... maybe another hour. I have a question. If for some reason you became viral and a new wave of people come around, and you had to clickbait, how would you handle such fame? You know, this is a really interesting question. I think if I got, this is the first Gold Duck playthrough. I think if somehow my channel blew up and went to like 1 million subscribers or 500,000 or something, like overnight, where it's like 3 months or something, and then it's just like, whoa, it took off. If that happened, I don't think I would change anything. I think I would just keep doing what I'm doing. Because the reason the channel blew up is because of what I'm currently doing. It didn't blow up because I changed stuff. Because I've made the intentional choice now not to change stuff. Like, there was a while where I was like, well, I'll try a whole bunch of new things and see what happens. And like now I'm like, no, I know what I like to do. I just want to keep doing the thing that I like to do, and the people that like what I do will watch what I do. And if no one watches, then I'll go and get another job. Like, that's fine. Like, it's okay. I don't need to like hold on to this and try and make it work. I'm just going to do the thing I enjoy. So I think if it blew up, I would just be like, hey, it blew up because people like what I'm doing. So I should just keep doing what I'm doing. Don't change things. I think that's what I would just not change things. Which, if you're trying to become a creator, think very intentionally about how you want to structure your channel. See you, Van Man. Thanks for hanging out. Like, make stuff that you actually enjoy making, because if it does blow up and then you have to make something that you don't like making, you're not going to be satisfied with your work. That's the beauty of being able to do this with something that I enjoy. I just get to keep doing what I enjoy, and then people keep watching it because you enjoy it as well. It's great. Everyone wins. I have a question. Which run in Emerald are you dreading more than Azurill or Wurmple? Both are awful Pokemon. Maybe Why Not? That one's going to be maybe the worst Pokemon. Probably won't be able to win. Will we ever get a face reveal? Probably not, no. Any chance of a J-Rose 11 Scott's Thoughts collab? I would love to do it. I reached out a while ago, like years ago, to J-Rose. Didn't hear back about it, so I would assume that there is no chance. But I would love to do it, so if he reaches out to me, I'm totally happy to do it. I would love to do that. Again, he's like one of my heroes of this genre. He got me into doing this, so it'd be amazing. I might be able to tag the videos. I should check that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Red streams are coming back. Though, the red streams will be back. Again, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to manage the red series. if I'm going to do... I have a bunch of different ideas about how to structure it. I initially thought it was going to be one big video at the end of the process, but I think creatively that's going to kill me. Like, I don't think I'm capable of doing it. I can make long videos, but I don't think I can make a 23-hour video. There's something for me really satisfying about making things in bite-sized pieces. Long bite-sized pieces. I am not committing myself to anything past the 2D era of Pokemon. I have no idea. I am going to play... Well, yeah. Spoilers. This whole stream is going to have spoilers because I'm just talking about my creative process, but I am going to play Generation 5. If people have been wondering, where's Generation 5? When are you going to play Generation 5? I wonder. Yeah, I wonder when I'm going to play Generation 5. Also, I got a solo running Discord in the link, so you can in the description. So check that out if you haven't already joined. But yeah, I'll play Generation 5. So that's both the originals and the remakes. But I don't know about Generation 6. So like, I might for the 3D games, like I might decide to play them, but not commit to a series, going like, hey, I'm gonna try some solo challenges in these games and just see how it goes, and then if I really enjoy playing them, I'll keep going. But I have a feeling that it's not going to be that as much fun to play the Generation 6 games as it is to play everything on the DS and before. What's your favorite run in Heart Gold so far? Ooh, Magneton, yeah. Yeah, it's Magneton. If the link is dead in the description, it shouldn't be. Just a second. I'll just post another one. This one's good for a little while. 7 days, I think. There are some people doing Gen 6 runs already. I don't want to talk about Gen 5. I'm not gonna say anything about Gen 5 and the mechanics of those games. Yeah, the Switch era... Who does Gen 6 runs? Dwundy 016 does Generation 6 runs. I'll put his name in the chat. Yeah, like, that's another thing is, like, with Gen 6, like, if I can't get the overlay to work, do I want to play the games? And, like, for me, there's this, like, there's a deep love of figuring out how to make the overlay work. And if the answer is it just won't work, I don't think I'll be able to play the games. I think that's like a deal breaker for me. Like, I need, and if I can't make it look visually good on the screen in some way that's interesting, I don't know if I want to play the games. Like, this is part of the joy of doing these, is like figuring out the tech that surrounds the problem. Yeah, love this. Look at that battle. Let's go. Gold Dock. 0 resets. What's your fave newer gen Pokemon? Ooh, Golisopod always pops to mind. I really like Golisopod. I really like the Pokemon introduced in Generation 6 and Generation 7. Love them. How far ahead do you start working on the overlay for a new generation? Well, last year with Heart Gold, I started, I think December 1st or December 2nd working on the Heart Gold overlay. So not far in advance. It was a terrible idea. I was very panicked about it. The whole reason it was delayed so long is because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with Voltorb Flip. Maybe it wasn't that long. Maybe it was November. I'm forgetting. I'm very forgetful. But it was like, it was delayed significantly past the point that I wanted to figure it out. So like Heart Gold, I just put off because I was like trying to figure out what my ruling for Voltorb Flip was going to be. Do we ban Voltorb Flip? Do I have to actually learn the game and play it correctly? Do I just have like a thing that shows me all of the answers and I just get through it for free? Do I just add coins to my bag and then buy whatever TMs I want? Or do I have to actually play the game even though it's solved already for me and waste the time getting all the coins? So I had to figure out what my approach was going to be to Voltorb Flip. I had Exceptional play Voltorb Flip for me for like a week. The poor man. I am so sorry. I got him to like learn the game. I got him to learn all the rules, figure out how we could optimize it. He built a whole Excel spreadsheet showing us how to like optimally play Voltorb Flip. And I was like, how long will it take me to learn the game? Like, if I have to sit down and spend a week playing Voltorb Flip to get good at it, like, is that realistic? Or is it going to take me longer than a week to get really good at it? Yeah, eventually I just solved the puzzle with a little thing. I have to play the puzzle, but it is solved for me. And I think that this is the most fair choice and the most fun choice for the... That is another factor of my solo runs. It's like, I am trying to be fair to all the Pokemon, but I'm also trying to have fun. If I don't have fun, I don't keep making the videos. So if I don't keep making the videos, then it's all for nothing anyways. So I have to make a choice that is both fair and fun. And I think that the choice that I came up with Heart Gold is both fair and fun. But yeah, thank you, Exceptional, for helping me come to the solution. So Heart Gold was delayed. Generation 5... Generation 4 with the move from the, what's it called? From the Game Boy Advanced to the DS was very hard to figure out. I didn't think we would make it in time for the December 25th deadline, which is when I start new games on my channel. I genuinely thought we weren't going to make it because we couldn't figure out the hardware and interfacing with the hardware fast enough. But we did it. And that one came together a lot faster than I was expecting. I think it was like August when we finally cracked like the solution that we needed. We came up with the solution we needed and they were like, whoa, we got it. Like, oh, it's done now. Okay. And then that meant that once we got that figured out, Platinum, Heart Gold, Black, and White 2 were all solved all at once, basically. So that was the one that was like trickiest to implement. Like, going from Emerald to Fire Red was pretty trivial. I was bad at coding back then, so like, it took longer than it should have. Going from Fire Red to Platinum was a tricky thing because of the platform. Going from, Platinum to Heart Gold wasn't difficult other than figuring out Voltorb Flip. And actually, interestingly enough, Generation 5 is easier than Generation 4. And Generation 4 is easier than Generation 3 to work with. So, yeah. Oh, Merry Christmas to you in Singapore. It's like yeah, Game Freak does improve a little bit with how they're doing things, but also it's just like how the data works within the games. Like in Gen 3, there's so much flicker that we have to work around. It's very hard to describe what flicker is if you haven't seen it in my videos, but like basically if the data is getting like encrypted or decrypted and it's written in the same location in RAM all the time, then it's really hard to track it properly and not have like some error data come through every once in a while. And when a little bit of error data sneaks through, everything can break. Luckily, there's not a lot of that after Generation 3. So now, how far in advance were I on things? Like, again, spoilers in this video, but the Gen 5 overlay, I had it finished in September. So, very far ahead this year. So much so that if you go to the Discord link, you can already download the Gen 5 overlay and try it yourself. It is released. This is the official announcement, I guess. It's released. Go get it. You can look at it yourself before you ever see it in one of my videos. That is the first time that has ever been the case. Also, thank you to Shadow Stitch for helping me extensively test it. Shadow Stitch played like 25 black playthroughs so that I didn't spoil myself. Testing the overlay and just working out all of the issues. This guy's bad. He's so bad. Cream 147 player? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Thanks for your amazing work on this series, and congratulations on completing it. With Yellow gone for now, which of your series are you most excited for in 2026? Generation 5. Generation 5. I did not grow up playing Gen 5, but Gen 5 is my favorite generation. Any plans for a new race? I wrote a very long post about how I don't ever plan to do another race again over on the race server. And then immediately after writing it, I had a dream and woke up and I was like, I have an idea for a race. So maybe another one. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the middle of the year. Like, it'll be in the summer probably, when people have a little bit more time, and when I have a little bit more time. By the way, on YouTube is very seasonal. So the summer is the worst months for me, as well as January. January and the summer months are the worst months for me. Because of that, I don't have to push quite as hard, so like I can just take a little break. Try to teach Rust there. Also, look at this gold duck. Look at this thing. 0 resets. What a guy. Then I'm like, no, I'm going to teach Rust. I'm also really excited to play more Heart Gold. I'm really excited to play more Fire Red. Really excited to play more Emerald. I wish more people liked Platinum. It seems like Platinum is the game that gets the least love from the community. Like Zealous Pawn mentioned to me, he's like, I watch all your videos except the Platinum videos. Interesting. And it does seem like there's a good number of people that do that. This cloister is terrible for water types. Also, look at this. Look at this, me just surviving. I also think, I don't know, for me it's like, it's just watch whatever videos you want to watch. I like playing Platinum. So for me it's like, I'm just going to keep making the videos. And they'll do however they do, and we'll move on from there. There may come a point when the videos aren't doing well enough for me to like invest a bunch of money in getting them produced. In which case, we'll have to scale back on the production just slightly to make them a little bit more easy to manage. But I intend to play Platinum until I finish what I've currently set out to do. Crystal is the game that I'm like, nah, I am going to finish it, but it's the one that I enjoy playing the least. Which is saying, like, I really enjoy playing these games. Look at this Gold Duck run. This Gold Duck run was absurd. I didn't even clue in when Koga was happening, but I got so lucky during Koga as well. So lucky. Do you think that the Gen 5 overlay is compatible with both first and second? No, it's not. It's only compatible with Pokemon Black. I know that. I know that for sure. It will be completely broken in the sequels, because I have not worked on those at all yet. And it will probably break in white. I have not tested it. I unfortunately wish I could just make tools for the community and get paid to do that, but I get paid to make videos, and right now I can't invest time to just build compatibility for all of my software for games that I'm not actively playing on the channel. Like, there's a beautiful synergy here of, like, I can make these things and give them to people, but I can do that when I'm going to make content for that game on my channel. If I'm not, then it's like it's hard for me to go like, okay, I'm going to spend like 2 weeks making compatibility for this game. Yeah. It will not be black too. It will be white too. My thumbnails need to look different. I had to choose. Do we start with black or white, and then we're gonna alternate for the second one so that the thumbnails look different? We have to. Okay. I'm gonna fire up another run. What do we want to watch that I've played recently? Yeah, Ogrepone is supposedly like really broken. I looked into it a little bit. It does seem very broken. Startled JC. Today's episode was so emotional. We cannot thank you enough, Scott. You're welcome. I did Honchkrow in Platinum. I did it this year. It's so good. Honchkrow is so good. Okay, let's talk about Pokemon that are actually really good. That people don't necessarily think of when they think of really good Pokemon. Everyone thinks of like legendaries, and then they think of starters, and they're like, those are good Pokemon. You know the Pokemon people don't think about? Kangaskhan, Jinx, and Honchkrow. These Pokemon. Ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. I hope this doesn't break, but I am going to try and back out of my tier list now. Ah, it works. Oh, don't look. Now here's Platinum. Look at this thing. Disgusting. It's disgusting. What? Like, okay, Arceus is like significantly better than every other Pokemon. And then Honchkrow is just like, yeah, no need. No need. Silly. It's silly. Oh, by the way, something I want to work on in 2026, but I don't know if I'm going to have time, so don't get too excited about it. I really want to make a website where people can all submit runs, and then everyone can race with every single Pokemon to constantly speedrun the game and get better times in my format. And I'll make like a leaderboard, and you can like submit your replays to it, and it'll like rank you all. I want to do that eventually, but I have to get time for it. It's purely a passion project. I cannot actually allocate like work hours towards it. And then the other thing I want to do is I also want to make it so that when you do submit runs to this website, you can go over to like your my profile, or you can look at other people's profiles, and you can see their versions of their own tier lists, and it will run off of this software. So you could like see someone else's tier list and go like, how's this person playing in Platinum? Like, I want to see what Ike the Killer's doing in Emerald version. Let's jump over to Ike the Killer's tier list and see how he's ranked Pokemon. And now we can jump over to Zealous Pond's yellow tier list and see how he's re-ranked Pokemon. I think that would be so interesting. Anyways. I've been thinking about this project for like 4 years now, and I just haven't done it. Anyways, I'm excited to play Platinum more. Platinum's going to be fun. Heart Gold is going to be fun. Psychic types look like they're going to be dominant in this game for another year. All 3 of the Psychic types that I have played this year have done really well. Magneton being the outlier, it was so good in this game. And Generation 2 does give a unique pass to electric types, or Johto gives a unique pass to electric types that you don't really get in other games, because there isn't a ground type specialist. That is not true for most games, which then crushes electric types' hopes. But Crystal. I'm like 107 out of 251. I do feel that I need to... Someone messaged or wrote a comment this year being like, do you even play Crystal anymore? I'm like, yeah, I've been releasing Crystal videos. Then I went back and I'm like, oh, I actually don't really. Like, there was like 5 Crystal videos this year or something. Like, Crystal as a series was definitely neglected this year. Let's like quickly just jump back and see what I... Oh, the music didn't stop. It's just quiet. Wobbuffet, Charizard for Alligator, but those were streams. Ladybug, Spinarak, Xatu, Noctowl, Hoppip, Sunkern, Nidoking and Nidoqueen, Hydreigon, Vileplume, Blossom, Ghastly, Porygon, Porygon 2, and Porygon Z, Ekans. I played a decent amount. Farfetch'd, Kingdra, Magnemite. That's it. Oh, Slowbro, Slowking. Yeah, Emerald. Emerald seems to be the game that I play a Pokemon and I really don't like it, and then I just stop playing Emerald for a little while. It's happened 3 times. I played Swampert at the beginning of the series, and then I'm like, I'm actually not going to play this game anymore. Then I played Nose Pass, and I'm like, I'm actually just never going to produce this video because this Pokemon was so painful. And then I played Gulpin, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Is there a series you're gearing up to start reruns in, or are you enjoying the current balance of solo run and rerun formats? Oh my gosh, Danny. Thank you so much for the 151 euros. Really appreciate it. It's very generous. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Is there a game I'm gearing up to start re-ranking? Well, I didn't realize this. I said in my Electabuzz, Magmar, and Jinx video that I have done a second playthrough of Omastar, and then everyone was like, wait, when did he do a second playthrough of Omastar? Here's the thing. I never released it. There are a bunch of videos that I have filmed that I have never released. And it's usually because like I film them as a part of a different video, and then I end up figuring out for like pacing reasons or production reasons or whatever that playthrough won't fit very well. So then I decide not to release it. And then time goes by to the point that like my overlay and everything looks better. And I'm like, that video I played badly anyways. Like I'm just not going to release it now. We'll wait until later. I'll do an official re-ranking of that Pokemon then. And I'll do a whole new playthrough at that point. And then a lot of that footage just gets boxed and never comes out. So I did do another playthrough of Omastar. I was thinking of starting doing re-ranks with just species, so not evolving during the playthroughs, during the fossil video for Fire Red that I released last year. I was like, maybe I'll do that then with Fire Red. I'll start the re-ranks at that point. But then I decided against it. I was like, no, I think this is too early in the series. My feeling was if I start that, then I'm committing myself to like 386 runs in Fire Red. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that right now. I want to finish the first Fire Red tier list with evolution and then figure out what I'm going to do next in the game. And this really comes from this like this philosophy of just I'm trying to finish series. I really want to finish series. Like I finished the yellow series. Now I'm going to figure out what I want to do next, and I want to figure it out and then really go for it when I do go for it. But I don't want to just like, hey, yeah, let's just go. So I'm going to try yeah, I'm going to anyways. I'm going to I'll figure out what I'm going to do. But I think the game that is closest to getting re-ranking started in it is Fire Red. The commitment that I made to Fire Red, or that I have made to Fire Red, is that I'm going to play all of the original 151 as they were in Generation 1 to beat the first champion and rank the Pokemon based off of that. That seems how Game Freak wanted you to play with those Pokemon. Like, you're not allowed to evolve your Golbat into Crobat before you beat the game. You're not allowed to transfer your Scyther and evolve it before you beat the game. You can't breed and get an Igglybuff before you beat the game. So I'm going to beat the game in that way with all of those species. I'll just show the list. Yeah, see here, I re-ranked stuff. I re-ranked Omastar, but I never released it. And funnily enough, I did release all of these other ones, but not Omastar. So poor Omastar was just like, wait, what? When did that happen? It happened. I did it. I just did it, and I never released it. Here is the list of Fire Red Pokemon as things stand right now. You can see 49 out of 81. I think I actually might finish this evolution series next year in Fire Red. Because we're very close, like 32 videos. I can do 32 videos in a year. I can't really do 50 videos in a year for one game, but I can do 32. So we might be able to finish Fire Red next year and then get onto reruns for the following year. And like with Fire Red, I'm trying to like, I'm going to pair things up differently and stuff when I do reruns. So like and it's going to be very different because I think for the reruns, I'm also going to go all the way to the end of Champion 2 for the time, not just Champion 1. So I'll change the format up when I do it as well. Yeah, I might do like beta mons and stuff like that. Yeah, I might do those backports. Scott's secrets, yeah. If we looked at every tier list, well, kind of. Yellow! We didn't have a solution for this. Luckily things distributed well in yellow that I didn't really have to muck with things too much. Although the credits no longer worked because Abra got shifted over by Ditto. Well done, Ditto, also. Ditto is, like, really good. Alright, let's queue up another run. I'll put another run on. I'll chat for a little bit more, and then we'll call it a day. I'm not going to stream anymore this year. I'll be back in 2026 to do streams. I will be doing, hopefully, regular streams throughout all of 2026. I don't think that it's going to be the case that it happens like it did this year. So, I'll talk a little bit about that. That's another pacing thing. Unfortunately, with 2026, or 2025, I got going really, like, I was really intense at the beginning. I was doing like 6 pieces of content a week. I was streaming 2 to 3 times a week, releasing supercuts on 2 to 3 days of the week, and then doing 2 videos a week. So it was like, some weeks there were like 8 pieces of content for me. So you could watch me every day if you wanted. And this was not going to get me to daily December. I figured it out pretty quick. I'm like, I'm not going to get there. We're not going to have enough voice or enough time to make all the videos if I do this much. So then I'm like, I got to scale back on streams. Then my voice started not feeling as good. So I'm like, I got to stop streams. Stopped streams. Then I had to focus on daily December to make it happen. But next year, I'm hopefully not going to go in with such an intense pace right at the beginning of the year. And I don't think I'll have problems if I just pace myself a little bit better. Oops, I messed it up just a second. The replay wasn't paused. And I started it and it didn't work. Okay. I figure this is on theme, so let's do things this way. Are you planning to do reruns in Platinum Fire Red with Natures? Yes, with Natures. I find it odd that you pick neutral. Yeah. I had some people message me about that. They go like, maybe just pick like a neutral nature for the first playthrough so you don't mess things up in the initial series. And then they're like, it also like better reflects the base stats of the Pokemon if you're not choosing a nature. And I was like, that's kind of an interesting point. And I was like, well, like I do mess up natures a lot, so like I'll just go neutral, no hidden power for the first runs. That seems to be like the most neutral way to do it in a first playthrough. And then I'll figure out natures and stuff from there. Emerald is the only series where I don't have the same rules, just because I started Emerald earlier than all the other games and I hadn't figured out what I really like to do. Okay. So this is the final run that I ranked Mewtwo based on. There's a lot that we can do to make this run faster. Like I showed with Zealous-Spawn and Austin's time. Also, hello Zealous-Spawn. You watched the Grimer video. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you're still here. That's so funny. Oh, remember? Okay, so I made a little video a while back. Like no one watched it because it's not a solo challenge video, but I made like a video that was like my top like 10 favorite videos and my least favorite videos, or my least favorite runs in Yellow. And hilariously, I mentioned during that the Grimer story where I released the Grimer video because I was trying to loosen up with my voiceover and just tell stupid jokes. I'm like, I'll just put all the bloopers in. And like, I was actually intentionally being silly with my bloopers back then because I was trying to relax myself while I was recording the voiceover, which I personally find very stressful because I got to get it right. Like, I got to say intelligent things. So I'm like, well, if I'm just silly all the time, then I'm going to relax and it'll be fine. So I was being silly and then I'm like, well, I'll just put the bloopers in the main video. Maybe people will find it fun. No, people did not find it fun. And then one of my Patreon supporters reached out to me saying, like, I'm canceling my Patreon subscription and I am not going to watch your videos anymore. And I remember just being like, yeah, that's fair. But also, I'm so sad. Like, I'm so sorry that this video was actually that bad. So I released that video and he watched the new video. So apparently he did give me another chance. And he said he's glad he stuck around. So it ended up that his feedback was very good. It moved me in a direction which is more natural for me, and I think I can't, everything worked out, and I don't know if everything would have worked out exactly the same way if he didn't say the things he said, so I really appreciate the feedback. I'm not actually doing a run, no, this is a replay. I'm just chatting about the series and stuff, answering questions. Do you intend to change your approach to hidden power in Fire Red once you finish? Yes. Hidden power will be allowed once I finish the evolutionary lines for Kanto species. Oops, don't go down that ladder when you're playing. Try to dodge it, that's a mistake, waste some time there. You can get hidden power with pickup. So you catch yourself a Meowth just before Vermilion City, and then with the Meowth you can just farm hidden power TMs. Yeah, Fire Red is a fast game. That's another reason why, like, Fire Red is fast. I like that Fire Red is fast. Makes it easier to do repeated playthroughs in. I don't know if I'm ever going to do repeated playthroughs in Platinum or in Heart Gold because the games are so long. It's really hard to be like, okay, I'm going to film 2 Heart Gold playthroughs now. Like, okay, so like now I just committed 8 hours to filming for this video. And if it's a versus video, it's like, okay, now it's 16 hours of filming. Did you think you would finish all 151 Pokemon before J-Rose? Honestly, yes. In like the first year that or second year that I was doing the channel, he took like a giant break in the middle of the year and just didn't make videos for a while. And like when that happened, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to finish this before he will. Because I'm not going to stop. Like I know I'm not going to stop. I only missed 1 week of releases intentionally. Or not intentionally, sorry. I only missed 1 week of releases unintentionally, and that one was because we had so many tech problems making the Vanman Nidoran female collaboration. Like, the video just wouldn't render. It was an absolute nightmare. And then I took off 1 month intentionally in January one year, and it was the worst mistake I've made during the course of this channel. I'm not taking time off. Taking time off at the beginning of the year was terrible for my motivation. I really didn't want to get going again. I was so sluggish. And then when I got back to doing things, like everything was broken. There were so many tech problems because I was just so out of touch with like what was going on since I took so long off. I didn't feel refreshed. I felt stressed. It was not good. This year I'm taking 1 week off releases, so it'll be like January 10th, I think, is going to be the first release in 2026. But that's just because like my video editor is on break until like January 6th. So if I want to make a video for like the 3rd or whatever it would be, or the 5th, I have to film it like tomorrow and then, or the next day, and then start editing it to get it out in time. That seems a little bit absurd. What's the next video for the new year? I'm going to start the year off with Eevee and Pokemon Crystal. Because things have to rhyme. Like George Lucas says, you know? The beginning rhymes with the end, things like that. Yeah, I think that's the thing about like with like JROs and stuff. Like I saw some in my Discord, there was people criticizing his recent Mewtwo run where he like lost to Brock. Okay, we do very different kinds of videos. It's okay for two creators to make totally different things. That's fine. It's also okay for you to not like one of us. Like I can see you just being like, wow, Scott, he's like budget JROs. Like, okay, sure. Or someone being like, oh, JROs, he's like not as intense. He doesn't do like 15 playthroughs. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, and that's fine. But I think it overall for me, I think it's amazing that there's more people making these kind of videos, because I have discovered that in my time doing this, that there's not enough time in my day for me to do everything that I would like to do in all of these games. Like, yeah, at some point I'm going to have to re-rank Seal. At some point I'm going to have to play Seal in a different game. I haven't had time to do that yet. Yeah, I would love to do a video with JROs and like compare our different approaches to the game. Not to like highlight which one is better, but just talk about the differences that we approach things with and like how that plays out for us as creators. Like, how does it feel when you like only have to do one run per species? Like, or like what do you like approach the challenge in a different way? Like I could interview him about his process, that kind of thing. I think that would be really fun. 10 Scott's Thoughts gifts. Thank you so much. I don't know how to say your name. It's like E248. Oh, I haven't talked about this. I'm going to talk about this now because we just got a whole bunch of memberships. There are some exclusive videos on my channel, but the exclusive videos are all like behind the scenes stuff or analysis videos, that kind of thing. I'm not really going to be doing much exclusive stuff in the coming year. If you subscribed to my channel because you want exclusive stuff, please just unsubscribe. You don't need to give me money. I'm going to do less and less exclusive stuff. Occasionally I'll record a behind the scenes video and put it out there if I just want to talk about something and it's not going to do well for the YouTube algorithm. But I'm actually going to do a different project instead of doing behind the scenes stuff as paid content. So instead of doing paid content next year, I am going to do free content. And instead of it being behind the scenes stuff, it is going to be educational content about how I do what I do. And no one is going to want this. And if you do want it, I don't want you to pay for it. So many people make tons of like online courses where it's like, buy my course, like pay $450 for like this filmmaking course or whatever it is. And it's like, I'm essentially going to put together a casual solo challenge content creation course. And it's just going to be free. I'm going to post it on a different channel somewhere else. But it'll be there for the content creators that really want to get inside the process and like figure out the annoying things that I worked through that I can like save you tons of time not having to deal with. And it's my way to sort of like I don't know. It's my way to share something with everyone. I'm also going to really try and make a big effort next year to get the full technology suite that I use for these videos out there for other people to use. Anyways, that's going to be the priority. So if you are supporting me, the support will be going towards making sure that all of this stuff remains free. And that I can keep paying my video editor and keep making videos in the style that I make them in. Again, this wouldn't be possible if I couldn't have Sean. And the direct support is what makes it possible for me to have Sean. Yeah, like Cream, what you're saying there, this is a very cool idea. I'd enjoy making a couple of videos just for fun and cutting past the painful part of self-teaching. How to do it would give me the motivation to do it. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't start because they don't know how to do things. And so if I can just share some insight into like what I do behind the scenes, I think it'll be helpful for other people. And if it's not, maybe it'll be interesting for some people to see like what goes into making these videos. It's like, why is his play so bad? It's because I spent like 6 weeks programming an overlay and I played the game in like an hour and a half, and then I was like, okay, that's got to be the video. Like the distribution of effort is not linear. It's not like, oh, I spend the same amount of time playing the game as I do programming or something like that. Mewtwo is so ridiculously good. Someone put in the chat earlier, like, how would Mewtwo Y do in Pokemon Yellow? And like, I don't know if it would do that much better, just because Mewtwo is already one-hitting pretty much every Pokemon. Like, when you're not one-hitting, you're two-hitting. So there's very little time that can be saved with a Pokemon that just has better stats. By the way, these steps here where I'm trying to navigate very precisely, I can do those faster with and be precise. So that was fun. Yeah, 5% making video. Yeah, exactly. It's like the inverse of mine. And my time like playing games is also spread out between 6 or 7 or 8 titles now. What is it? Red, Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, Fire Red, Platinum, Heart Gold, and then tomorrow. So it's 8 games now that I'm spread out between. For some reason though, one of the games always feels like my worst game. For a while it felt like Emerald. That doesn't seem like the case anymore. I've talked to Ike the Killer enough now. I'm not nearly as good at him as in Emerald. I think he is the best solo challenge player in Emerald right now in the solo challenge community. But I think Platinum's my worst game now. Interestingly, the remakes are actually I find them a lot easier to get into because I've already played the original game, so I know a lot of like excuse me. Like I know some of the basics of the strategy that I can approach things with, and then I have to sort of stack on the new mechanics from the new games. But then a game like Platinum comes along and I'm like, well, but I will. But you will. I'll train you. Okay. Yeah, Elite Four, Alex. We should chat. We should chat, and then next year make my Platinum play excellent. I think I took your advice, or some other people's advice for Bronzong. That was successful, except for the fact that everyone hated that I used Hypnosis too much. Mewtwo also plays. My menuing there can be much faster. I feel like you're better at Platinum than either of the remakes. Maybe. Doesn't feel that way to me, but might be the case. I think Platinum is an easier game than Heart Gold, which is not what I was expecting when I sat down to do these solo challenges. I expected Platinum to be one of the hardest games. Ooh, Diamond and Pearl runs are actually really interesting when compared with Platinum. This is another case where the remake game is quite different from the originals. So Diamond and Pearl going to Platinum is quite different, similar to how like Red and Blue going to Yellow is quite different. That's not the case for Gold and Silver going to Crystal. They're almost identical. There's like really one difference, which is in Gold and Silver you can skip the Rival and Burned Tower. He's optional, but in Crystal you can't. And then yeah, like there's occasional like dialogue things that are different, but that's really it. Yeah, Heart Gold is the longest game I'm playing. It's so long. Yeah, I think after talking to Exceptional, my Fire Red has got better. I agree. I think like the rare candies in Platinum are interesting though, because I think that that jump over that little ledge there, painful. I think that Platinum can be like like the times can go way down because I can get more aggressive with like when I'm not picking up rare candies, but I'm not skilled enough to know when I shouldn't pick them up right now, so I just get them all the time, and then the runs get easy by the end because I don't know where to skip them and why I should be skipping them. Like, oh, this Pokemon has enough base speed or whatever, like it'll be fine, or it gets this setup move, so it'll be fine. Yeah, exactly. You can cut a lot of rare candies in Platinum. Save tons of time. Congratulations on finishing the Yellow series. One question though. Why does the Pokemon supporter list at the end not go beyond Generation 5? Because we don't have enough supporters yet. Sign up today! YouTube memberships for Patreon. The way it works is like, we just take the list from Patreon and the list from YouTube, and then they just like get put into a piece of software, and then the software combines them all, and then it outputs a list, and then that's the list that goes at the end of the videos. So if it's like in Gen 5 right now, we have like somewhere between 500 and 650 supporters. Right now I'm just running evolutionary families because yes, it's going to allow me to finish the games. Also, evolutionary families are uniquely interesting, or uniquely good as warm-up runs, because then I play a little bit of the first stage in the early portion of the game, but I don't spoil the late game for the first stage. And when I play the fully evolved Pokemon, I get them later into the run, and I don't get a fast early game, which would spoil their time for the late game. Yeah, we did have more supporters in the past, so it has gone into Gen 6 before. I don't think it's ever got to Gen 7. But, yeah. Again, I'm not really, like, pushing the Patreon side of things, so, like, if you want to sign up, you can. Another reason why it bloats sometimes and it gets into Gen 6 is because I do more streams, and then people gift memberships. Thank you, Cody, for gifting 5 more. And then as people gift more, then the credit sequence bloats because all of those people that got gifted memberships make it in for 1 or 2 months. Yeah. I might do like evolution runs in Yellow. Yeah, I'll definitely consider that. I don't know if I'll do evolution runs as like independent videos, but I might do like a big video where I just like I sit down for a couple months and I stream a bunch of evolution runs in Yellow, and then I put them all together into a big video. I might do something like that to talk about it, like the evasion mechanics. I might do that in a big video. I don't know. Just throwing an idea out there. But I'm definitely open to it. It is something that I would like to explore. There's lots of stuff that I would like to explore, but in the end, I do have to make a choice about where I spend my time. So sometimes spending the time on more Yellow videos might be the right choice, but sometimes it's going to be better to spend it elsewhere. I'll decide when I get there, or try and make the right choice. But I know that people would like to see evolution lines. Joining after watching the final Mewtwo run. What a ride. Thanks, Scott. Proud of you. Honestly, I'm proud of myself. I think this might be the biggest accomplishment in my life. Like, that sounds kind of weird, but like, I think it might be. Like, even doing university was not this much of an effort. University was easy compared to this. I spent way more time doing this than I did in university. And I spent longer doing this than I spent in university. Also, the rappel running off right there in front of Koga's door. I don't know why my brain was just like, wait, what? Did I not do Erica? And then I'm like, wait, this is not what this is about. These battles against the jugglers, so slow with psychic types. Yeah, this is my Mewtwo PB. We're watching it right now. There's sometimes a discrepancy. This is something else to talk about before the end of the year. There's sometimes a discrepancy between the time that is displayed on the overlay and the time that I got in the video. So the way we're doing it right now is basically we have a replay file, and then when the replay file starts, my overlay recognizes that the game has started being played, and the overlay starts the clock. And then the clock just runs until the overlay recognizes that the game has finished. And then when the overlay sees that the game has finished, it stops the timer. So as soon as the champion is defeated and the Scott defeated the champion text prints, that's when the overlay goes it's done. And then it stops the clock at that point. So the overlay is exclusively running the timer right now, which causes for slight desyncs where it doesn't get the start at quite the same time and it doesn't get the end at quite the same time. And then the run maybe plays back slightly faster or slightly less because of CPU variance day to day. This can result in a time that is 1 second or 2 seconds off of what the time was initially when I played it for the first time. Snowy right... Wow, I should not announce things. What's your favorite piece of music from a Pokemon game? Are there any you like so much you wish you'd written them? I can think of several personally. Oh my gosh, yeah. The Hall of Fame track, I wish I wrote that. It's so good. The Gen 1, all the Gen 1 battle themes, but most specifically the champion. It's genius. I'm going to sing now. Please excuse me because I've never been a singer, but the Rivals theme, da 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 da. That, okay? That, the champion theme. Da 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 da. It's the inversion of the Rivals. Da 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 da. Is the inversion. So he took the intervals and he flipped them upside down. Or he took the theme and then he plays it back. I think he plays it backwards actually. It's retrograde. It's not inversion. Yeah, it's retrograde. Yeah, it's retrograde. So he takes the thing and he plays it backwards. So it's the same thing. It's the same group of notes, but he plays them backwards. And then he puts different rhythms to it, and then it becomes the champion theme. So the rival little jingle that plays every time he catches you ends up becoming the champion theme when it's played in retrograde. And it's just Junichi Masuda's a genius. When I first noticed that, I was just this is actually the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's one of those little moments where you'll never notice it if you don't know anything about music theory or anything like that, but it's encoded into the music of the game that that is the champion's theme and the champion is the rival. They cannot be separated from each other. Which is I put it as Agatha's theme for the Ditto video, but on some level that hurts me. But I had to put the intense battle music for that battle just because it really is the champion for Ditto. Cynthia's is good, yeah. Oh, what's that one? It's Fuki. I gotta find it. Just a second. Gotta go to the folder. Yeah, I might actually do some music videos. Mostly about Gen 1 music and Gen 2 music. Oh my gosh. The Gen 2 Kanto theme, that's another one I wish I wrote. The intro to the Gen 2 Kanto theme is 7 bars, I think. And the groupings of it is 7 beats. It's awesome. It's so cool. And then it's a reinterpretation of the gym battle music from Gen 1. And it goes so much harder than the Gen 1 battle music goes. It's so good. That's why I use it as the red battle music in the videos. You might have noticed that in my videos that I don't always assign the music that the trainer had in the actual game to those battles, especially in Gen 2. We kind of redistribute the music more freely. We use the Team Rocket music for the Elite Four, I think. But it's really I want to make sure that the pacing of the video, it feels like each musical theme is ramping up in intensity. So that by the end of the videos, it's as intense as is possible. Yeah, Fukiyoshi City. This theme is so good. Oh my gosh. No, Fukiyose City. What theme is it? Mistralton City. This one's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I try to find a moment to play that track at every single point. I think you're going to hear it every day for the next 7 days. Scott, will you ever do the 151 Pokemon rap as a video? Oh my gosh. Gosh, there's so much good music in these games. You know, when you go to see new movies, I hate to rag on Marvel movies, but when I go to see Marvel movies, like I know the one, like the Avengers theme, like everyone knows that one. This Onyx. Gosh. So annoying. It can show up through repels because Mewtwo's only level 48 going into the league, so you can still get the level 49 Onyx there and waste 3 seconds. Painful. Let me think of other stuff that's good. Oh, the Sylph theme is like really weird, but also really good. There's like the Route 210 or whatever it is from, I think it's a Ruby and Sapphire. I'm sure I got the route name wrong, but you'll forgive me. Route 116 or something like that. Route 110. I don't know what it is. It's one of those. It's like, it's a route theme. It's got the horns. Everyone's like, the horns. Yeah, it's great. That one's great. This Victory Road theme is also really good. I do like that they have certain staples of the series that they use in those locations no matter what game you're playing. And it's like a remix of it every time. They kind of recompose it. It's great. Pikachu's Beach from Generation 1 is really good. No one knows that. It's like only plays in like the Pikachu mini game or something. Every time I play it in one of the videos, everyone's like, what track is that? It's Pikachu's Beach. All of the Gen 1 route music is like incredibly nostalgic for me. Incredibly nostalgic. Because I just listened to it so much when I was playing these games as a kid. Like, I feel like when I hear the route music, I can feel the Game Boy in my hand. I feel myself in my parents' motorhome when we're like driving to some lake and the motorhome's breaking down every 5 minutes. Or like pouring water over the radiator and just like phoning like a service person. Like, well, we couldn't then because there's no cell phone, so we're just like panicking. My mom's like, like we're never gonna make it. My dad's like, it's gonna be okay. Scott, chew this gum. And then I'm like chewing like 5 pieces of gum in my mouth, and my mom's like at the back of the motorhome filling up a bottle of water, and then I'm running the water and the gum out to my dad, and he's like repairing the radiator with the gum and like pouring the water all over it, and there's like crickets everywhere and like all over the front of the car. And I'm like, I don't know if we're ever gonna make it home. We're just gonna be stuck here now. That's what happens in my brain when I hear the route music from Generation 1. It transports me back in time. Okay, and here it is. Flareon. Takes 2 hits to knock it out. 30 minutes and 15 seconds. How about Strength instead of Body Slam? So, skipping Body Slam with Mewtwo ends up being slower because Body Slam has a very fast battle animation. Moves have battle animations even though they don't play an animation. Like, they shake the screen in different ways and it wastes time. One thing that Exarian actually talked about with his Mew run was like, he thinks that a potential strategy that would be better for Mew is running Body Slam throughout the entire game because of how fast the animation is with Body Slam. So he said like you could just set up Swords Dance and spam Body Slam against the champion and save a bunch of time. He did say it would be riskier, but He thinks that it's a viable strategy. So I don't think that skipping Body Slam is necessarily the point of leverage that Mewtwo has that you might think that it is. It seems like, oh, we'll skip one trainer, we'll skip teaching a TM, that's going to be way better. But then you have to remember, like, that's going to ripple out throughout the entire playthrough. Where Mew gets Dig and has physical damage in the form of that and then Earthquake later on, Mewtwo doesn't have any other physical damage. So yeah, we could teach Strength, but then I don't know what the animation timing difference is between Strength and Body Slam. Like, you might get Strength for physical damage, but then lose out on the animation timing, and then Body Slam ends up being faster anyway. And you get it earlier, so like, just get Body Slam. It just doesn't make sense to go Strength. Yeah, like in this case, without thinking about the Body Slam animation timing, the time that we spent picking up Body Slam and learning it is saved just by fighting the jugglers in Koga's gym. Just being able to one-shot the Drowsy there is so much faster. I don't know though. I still have a lot to learn in Yellow. I think you still have lots to do. Is still as relevant now as it was at the end of the Ditto video, or the Mew video. Yeah, Pokemon Yellow, I finished it. Oh my gosh. This has been quite the process. I'm so happy that I stuck with it. I didn't lose faith and get more excited about future games and then get sucked away by them. Yeah, just to summarize quickly, maybe backports, not sure how they're gonna happen. Probably no re-ranking videos ever on the channel with Pokemon in Yellow. Maybe transfer backs in the future, but only if they fit into some larger series that I want to do. Maybe one-off larger videos that are exploring specific mechanics in Yellow, like Double Team or something like that. Right now, I am going to go quiet on Yellow, though, for quite some time. I need a break. It has been 5.5 years. I'm not going to play this game for months. So, I don't know. I don't know when the next time you'll see Yellow content, if you will see Yellow content from me, but I know that I'll be playing more Generation 1. So if you like Generation 1, stick around. And then 2026, we're going to be playing all the other games that I'm playing. So Crystal, Emerald, Fire Red, Platinum, Heart Gold, whatever I'm playing tomorrow. And probably Red version on stream. Yeah. Didn't you say you didn't enjoy it that much anyway? Oh, I enjoyed playing Yellow. The end of Yellow has been hard, though. You know those, like, you know when you, like, see, like, it's, like, from, like, a triathlon or a marathon or something, and you see, like, the runner at the end of the race, and, like, their body is just broken down. Like, they can't, they're just pushing with everything they can to get over the finish line. And, like, I seen this one clip where, like, a guy's brother is about to fall down, and then he, like, runs back and picks him up and carries him across the finish line. And, like, that's how I feel right now. Like, Austin and Zealous Pawn are pulling me across the finish line, and I am, like, my legs are shaking, and I'm, like, convulsing on the ground, and I'm gonna have to, like, take 2 weeks and just sleep in a bed and do nothing else. That's kind of how I feel. I feel just completely exhausted from the process. Also, if this is finished, how come you said some of the results are stale? Re-rankings coming? I'll probably do re-rankings on stream at some point. But the reason I said that results are stale is because, to me, it's intellectually dishonest to present a result in a video and say, like, yeah, Poliwrath, C tier, right? Like, yeah, that's totally where Poliwrath should be. Poliwrath should just be chilling right here. It should be chilling here, between Farfetch'd and Machoke, with a time of 48 minutes and 31 seconds. Like, it's worse than Magmar, did you know? Poliwrath. Poliwrath is actually worse. It's not. Poliwrath is amazing. It's going to be in the S tier. I think that Poliwrath might have the chance to beat Poliwhirl. I can't click on them in this list. I just realized that. I'll have to add that. But Poliwhirl. So, like, it probably will beat Poliwhirl, but it has to get kind of risky to do that. There's a reason it's down here right now. There's other Pokemon. Chansey, Wigglytuff. These are stale. I gotta redo them at some point if I want to re-rank them and give them fair results. I'll probably do that on stream without yeah. I'll probably have to redo them on stream at some point. When do you cut off the stale results? I'll donate 100 if you give us a community Mewtwo race. Thank you, Cody. But I'm going to preserve my creative integrity here and not go for the money. I appreciate the $1.99 though. Maybe a Mewtwo race in a different game though in the future if it feels creatively right. So basically it would feel dishonest for me. Like, okay, so with this thing, we can like pop up this thing and then we can do a filter. So filter, edit filter, and then we can go like let's filter by like the medium slow growth rate. Okay. So you filter by the medium slow growth rate. Now we get all these Pokemon, right? So like if we filter this way, and then you look at this list and you're like, oh, okay, so the worst fully evolved Pokemon that is medium slow is Pidgeot. Yes, that is true. I fundamentally believe that that is the truth. But then you say the second worst Pokemon is Poliwrath. So the only way for me to get around that is either playing another Poliwrath playthrough and then ranking it and doing it before the final run in the series so that then I can include Poliwrath's corrected results in the final video. Or I have to simply state Poliwrath needs to be played again. This one definitely doesn't have an accurate result right now. And the fact of the matter is, what was the cutoff? The cutoff is just that I was going to release all of the yellow videos by the end of this year. So I could have just waited till next year and then done Mewtwo on December 24th and released no new yellow videos and just done re-rankings all year before the Mewtwo video. But that also didn't feel like the right way to pace things. So for me, it was like, and like, okay, I have had to make peace with the fact. Yeah, Graveler over Poliwrath is real sus. Yeah. Same with Charmeleon. Like, it just shouldn't be the case. Anyways, I've had to make peace with the fact that, like, well, no. Arcanine deserves to be behind a Goldeen. Let's be real. Come on now. This guy, he's bad. This guy's bad. He's bad. Bad Pokemon. I did re-rank Arcanine. Anyways, it can go faster, sure, but like it should go there. I'm sure that Seaking can also go faster. 9 resets, Arcanine 5. Seaking should be ahead. Anyways, Arcanine is not good, but Charizard is. If you like fire types, I like Charizard. There we go. I'm going to meet you in the middle right there with Charizard. Where do you feel the safe results start? It's like not like a line in the sand. It's like blurry. It's like results are like pretty, like all the things that I filmed this year are pretty solid, although they are not like, I did not push as hard this year as I did in 2024 and 2023 to get really good times, but I was not nearly as good in 2024 or 2023. So I think that stuff from like those 3 years is kind of okay. Like I go back, like I think I did an okay job with both Zapdos and Articuno when I originally released them, and I think if I came back and played them again, I wouldn't get times that are much better. And I think like Arbok and Muck and stuff are like fairly solid, but I could probably get better times now if I tried them again. But if we start going back beyond that, then I start getting less and less confident. It's like the like confidence level drops off. Well, I'm like, yeah, no. And like some of them are stale, like Vaporeon, but like I keep coming back and trying Vaporeon again, and it just always is like, no, I'm an A-tier Pokemon. I'm like, no, it should be S-tier. No. And then I play Vaporeon again, it's like, nah, it's not that good, actually. So, I don't know what, it's hard for me to define a cutoff. Like, I feel intellectually dishonest if I define a cutoff. But like, there are some that are just incredibly stale. Wigglytuff, it's so old. Porygon, it's so old. So like some are Poliwrath. Like these ones are obvious. Farfetch'd. Like these Pokemon are obvious, but I did 3 streams with Farfetch'd trying to re-rank it. So like, am I going to come back and do a 4th Farfetch'd stream? Like this is also feeling a little bit creatively bankrupt. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And that's why I mentioned it in the videos. Scott, how do you feel? Bittersweet? Glad or happy? Just happy it's done. Have you ever watched like a StarCraft tournament and then it's like usually a Korean player that wins and then they win and then they go on stage and then they pick up the trophy and then they set it down and they just have a blank expression on their face, and then the interviewer asks them something like, how do you feel right now? And they're like, well, like, I'm excited to go home and practice more for the next tournament. That's how I feel. I think it's like, it's hard to feel like joyful or like a sense of deep accomplishment right now because it just finished and it feels just so surreal. Like this can't be the case. I think I need more time for it to sink in that like I did it. 151 Pokemon, all of them ranked. It's just like, it's going to take a moment for that to like really become something that I feel. Now, interestingly enough, before I recorded the Mewtwo voiceover, it was very emotional. I actually felt very sad that it was done. Like when I did I almost started crying when I was recording the final lines in the Ditto video. I was just like, yeah, I was like, wow, it's getting me again. I feel so much gratitude that I have been given the chance to do this, because this has been the project of a lifetime, and I am so incredibly grateful that all of you have come and watched this and been a part of this, because doing this on my by myself at just like on my own without people watching would have felt so much more isolating, and Pokemon has truly felt like a community game to me while playing these challenges. So I think the biggest thing that I feel right now about the series is gratitude. What a journey. What's my next goal? Well, I think it has to be Fire Red as the next one to finish. I don't think I'll be able to finish like 140 crystal runs in in 2 years. Like that seems absurd. That's 70 a year. I think crystal is going to be like 3 more years to finish. 4 more years maybe. Like crystal is going to take a while. I do think that Fire Red, though, is going to be the next one, because here with Evolutions, we're 49 out of 81. Like, I might be able to get that done in 2026. I haven't looked into the planning of it and, like, just what that would require, but we're getting into that place again where it's like, okay, either we have a really fast-paced, rushed final season, or we have 2 really slow-paced final seasons. So, like, I don't know, like, do I split those runs between 2 years, or do I keep them all in 1 year? I don't know. But I think Fire Red, this tier list with Fire Red, the first playthrough tier list in Fire Red, I kind of want to get this one out of the way too, because I'd like to move on to doing repeated playthroughs in like Johto species and Hoenn species and stuff like that. Totally break open the format and just play the full Fire Red experience with everything. With first stages, with final evolutions, with legendaries, get some huge versus videos going on. I would like to do that, so I think I'm actually like quite happy that Fire Red is coming up next. It's like wrap up this Kanto game and then just like reinvigorate the life of that Kanto format in Fire Red. Yeah, I gotta spend some time in Ike's dojo in Emerald. I don't know, like, how close am I in Emerald is like weird because I got... Emerald, by the way, it does not rank Deoxys multiple times, so if I remove one of Deoxys' forms, the ranking does not go down. Just so you know. It's only ranking it based off of speed form, officially internally, but you can see all the forms so that they look good. Oh, why does it work like this? This one's 50. Okay, we're a long ways off for Emerald. I've done way more first playthroughs, but still not very many. So Emerald is quite far off. This is many years. I gotta pick up my pace in Emerald, so Ike help me. It's the only way. It's the only way. Cody. Hey, thanks so much for the $49.99. Okay. Have you ever thought about modifying one of the slow growth rate Pokemon to medium slow? Yes, actually yes. This is a video... Okay. I'm going to do this video at some point. I don't know what game it's going to be in, but I am going to do this video at some point. I really want to play the same species that beats the game in a very, very, like, prescribed way. Like, it doesn't, like, pick up Swords Dance and then crush the game because of that. It just needs damage ranges. I've always thought Lapras, because Lapras is a Pokemon that just feels like damage ranges are the most important thing the entire time, and it doesn't really get stuff like Lovely Kiss to solve problems. Maybe Mewtwo is another good example. Maybe Mewtwo is the best example, or maybe Mew is also good. But I would like to play each one of those species or I'd like to play that species with all of the growth rates. And then compare and contrast how problematic certain ones become and how much better other ones are. Like, how much does it impact damage ranges early into the playthrough to be medium slow when compared with slow, stuff like that. I've always wanted to make a video like this, but I haven't had time. So now with Yellow wrapping up, maybe I do have time to work on a project like that. Anyways, hey, thanks for watching this stream. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks for everyone who supported the channel directly during the stream. Really appreciate it. Yeah, 2026. I'll be streaming regularly in 2026. This is going to be really fun. We'll do a lot more playthroughs that way. And then videos. Starting back up second weekend of January. I think it's January 10th. Let me confirm that. I have my 2026 schedule. I've worked on it. Yeah, January 10th. Hey. Thanks so much for the $2, JR. You're welcome. I hope everyone had fun with Yellow. I know I did. I am so grateful to have had this experience. It has truly been the journey of a lifetime. I think I am one step closer to becoming a Pokemon master. I think 7-year-old Scott would be incredibly proud of what I've done. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, you're incredible. Stay tuned tomorrow when I play Pokemon Black using only the Superior line. See you then.